out Sophie Cunningham, and I guess by default somehow Angel Reese. But I mean, leave it to Angel Reese fans to somehow twist this into some kind of a diss when it was actually sort of a compliment.
It seems the biggest controversy in the WNBA at the moment is a joke about salad. Yes, you heard that correctly. Sophie Cunningham made one small remark. Angel Reese's fans went ballistic, and the internet is now in a total frenzy. This somehow morphed into Sophie being jealous. Seriously, what's your take? A harmless quip or blatant disrespect? Alright, so let me lay out what went down. Sophie Cunningham, the Indiana Fever guard with the Arby's deal, a huge fan favorite, and one of the most well-known players in the league, was making a lighthearted TikTok about her new diet. She mentioned she can no longer eat gluten in jokes. Guess I'll have to become a Victoria's Secret model. Call me Angel Reese.
A huge one I forgot to mention is gluten, which is in every carb pretty much possible. And I know they make like gluten-free stuff, but that shit tastes weird to me. I can still eat chicken. That's good. Yeah, I feel like I'm going to be kind of turning into a rabbit. So, I don't know. I guess I'm going to turn into a Victoria's Secret model. Call me Angel Reese.
That was it? That was the line? And in just a few minutes, Angel Reese's fan base went completely off the deep end. They treated a 10-second food joke like a criminal investigation, apparently saying "call me Angel Reese" is considered an insult now. So, let's unpack this slowly. Since context is a lost art on Twitter, Angel Reese, who did just walk the Victoria's Secret runway, has become a global phenomenon. She's landing brand deals, commercials, modeling jobs, podcasts, everything. To Sophie referencing her in that way was a clear, playful acknowledgement of Reese's modeling success. But no, for the internet sleuths, that wasn't the case.
She's a 6-foot-tall, beautiful-ass blonde. You think she needs to name drop Angel Reese for clout? You've got to be joking. Look at all these modeling opportunities, all this stuff she was doing before she even got to the Fever. Now, y'all mad, blonde hair, blue eyes, white. Let's be real. That's what it is.
The comment sections went nuclear. Jealous little blonde. She's chasing clout. Keep Angel's name out of your mouth. Dude, she said nothing remotely mean. It's as if the moment someone utters Angel Reese, her fan base activates into a federal agency. One fan claimed, oh, she's just trying to get attention from Angel's name, as if Sophie Cunningham, with a national ad campaign, millions of followers, and her own library of WNBA highlights, is desperate for clout from Angel Reese. Let's be real. This is a woman with a literal Arby's sponsorship. She's the face of We Have the Meats, and people think she's hurting for TikTok views. Give me a break. But of course, logic is dead on social media, so naturally, the headlines began to appear. Sophie Cunningham throws shade at Angel Reese, jealousy brews in the WNBA, and my absolute favorite, racial tension erupts over comment. How did we leap from gluten-free pasta to race relations in under 10 seconds? This highlights the core issue with modern WNBA Twitter. Fans are so starved for conflict, they will manufacture a rivalry out of thin air. And frankly, a lot of it is about optics. A blonde-white, self-assured Sophie Cunningham makes a single playful remark, and the immediate assumption is malice. Because that's the lens for everything now. Not intent, but identity. You could see it coming a mile away. The moment Sophie's name was trending, users started excavating old photos, political opinions, and random tweets from a decade ago, all to construct this jealous, mean girl persona. Yet, if a player on Angel's side jokes about Caitlin Clark or Sabrina Ionescu, it's just considered fun trash talk. But if Sophie so much as breathes in Angel's vicinity, it's a microaggression. It's a joke, alright? But a deeply unfunny one. Then the true madness began. The TikTok reaction videos. Some of these creators were delivering Shakespearean monologues over a simple joke about carbs. She's envious of Angel's success. She can't handle seeing a black woman thrive. She's obsessed. Obsessed. Sophie didn't even tag her, it was a passing comment made while discussing food. But social media is fueled by outrage. Once that spark was lit, everyone rushed to pour gasoline on it. People were even attacking Sophie's appearance, her voice, her race, all while claiming to champion women supporting women. Irony had a very painful death that day. And this is where the hypocrisy is most glaring. Sophie has actually praised Angel in previous interviews. She has gone on record saying she respects her talent, her drive, and her brand build. This wasn't some long simmering beef, it was a casual name drop. But that reality doesn't fit the neat victim-villain narrative that social media crave. So now you have two factions screaming online, Angel Reese's fans calling Sophie jealous and racist, and Fever fans defending Sophie as if she's the last bastion of sanity on Earth. The most ironic part, neither Angel nor Sophie appears to give a damn. Angel is busy posting photos from Paris and working on new campaigns, likely oblivious to most of this chaos. Sophie in turn is focused on training camp, her injury rehab, and just laughing it all off. The only ones who are furious are the fans, the very people who think they're protecting their idol by igniting World War III on the internet. Let's be perfectly clear, Angel Reese doesn't need strangers fighting her online battles. She is managing just fine. And Sophie Cunningham doesn't have to throw shade to be relevant. She is already one of the league's biggest stars. But common sense doesn't generate likes. Outrage does. That's precisely why the same accounts attacking Sophie this week were busy pushing a fake Reese versus Clark conflict last week. They don't care about the target, as long as the engagement numbers go up. Let's also discuss how utterly absurd the jealousy accusation is. If Sophie is so jealous, what is she envious of? Angel's modeling gig. Sophie literally said she wanted to get healthier and joked about becoming a model herself. That sounds like a compliment, not envy. Is she jealous of the fame? Sophie has a massive fan base, her own merchandise, and major endorsements. Jealous of the spotlight? Come on. Sophie has been a trending topic for years due to her attitude, swagger, and on-court intensity. She has never needed Angel Reese's name to make headlines. The real reason fans are projecting jealousy is this. They want to preserve the idea that Angel Reese is infallible. They have crafted this queen of the league persona, and the second anyone approaches her, they switch to attack mode. Therein lies the problem. You can't foster a healthy fan culture when every single joke, compliment, or casual mention is escalated into a social media war. The WNBA is already plagued by manufactured rivalries. Reese versus Clark, Clark versus Wilson, Wilson versus Stewart. It's draining. And now we're supposed to believe in Cunningham versus Reese because of a comment about carbohydrates. You truly can't write this stuff. Even pundits started offering their takes. Some said she should have known better, being white. Dude, she said, call me Angel Reese. That is not coded language, it is a play on words. Others defended her, arguing that if Angel had made the exact same joke, no one would have batted an eye. And they are absolutely right. Context is supposed to matter, but only when it's convenient for the internet. So yes, we've hit a point where the WNBA can't even be fun. Everyone is tiptoeing around, terrified that any word could be twisted into a political statement. And this entire mess was ignited by a player making a joke about being gluten-free. You couldn't invent a better comedy sketch. The most hilarious aspect of this whole affair is how far people took it. It evolved from a short TikTok clip into full-blown dissertations on representation in professional sports. I mean, relax. Nobody was drafting a thesis. Sophie was talking about food allergies, but social media abhors peace. It craves chaos, and Angel Reese's fanbase provides it every time. The very same people championing protect black women were in the comments section spewing the most hateful things about Sophie. They weren't defending Angel, they were just seeking a new target for their outrage. It's a strange form of cult-like behavior where shouting on Twitter is mistaken for activism. Labeling every blonde player jealous just for engagement isn't protecting anyone. It's simply bullying disguised in a prettier package. And predictably, the media did its part. Sports sites ran headlines like Sophie Cunningham sparks controversy with Angel Reese comment. See the strategy? They never provide the full context. Just the one isolated sentence. That's their business model, turning mundane moments into manufactured drama, and the fans fall for it hook, line, and sinker. Then you had the Think Peace Brigade emerge on TikTok. You know them sitting in their car with some somber music, speaking as if they've just cracked a government conspiracy. You see, what Sophie was really saying is much deeper. No, it really wasn't. She meant what she said, and nothing else. But that's boring, and boring doesn't generate views. One user even created a montage branding Sophie obsessed with Angel for liking one of her posts. Bro, liking a post isn't obsession, it's called scrolling through your feed. We have people online conducting FBI-level analyses of who double-tapped which photo. It's becoming genuinely embarrassing, and what makes it all worse? Angel Reese herself probably doesn't care in the slightest. She's busy with photo shoots, interviews and partnerships, making a fortune. She isn't on TikTok weeping over who mentioned her. She's behaving like a star, staying booked. Yet her fans seem intent on portraying her as a delicate flower who can't take a compliment. Then there's Sophie. She had every opportunity to fire back, to go scorched earth on half of Twitter. Instead, she stayed silent. That shows real strength. She doesn't have to engage with strangers who can't distinguish between sarcasm and an insult. She's accustomed to it. She's faced hate since her college days. She's confident, she's outspoken, and yes, she has an in-your-face style that rattles some people. But here's the truth, that is why the Fever wanted her. She doesn't fold under pressure, she plays with an edge, she makes people talk, and right now, she's trending for that very reason. Confidence is a trigger for some people. This whole episode proves one thing conclusively. Logic is absent online. If Sophie had said, Angel looks incredible, people would have still found a way to be angry. They would have called her fake. If she had stayed silent, they'd have called her jealous. You can't win when the audience is addicted to being outraged. And let's not ignore the layers of hypocrisy here. Angel Reese herself is a prolific trash talker. She waves, she taunts, she flexes. It's a core part of her brand, and frankly, it's compelling to watch. But the instant someone makes a lighthearted joke in her direction, it's deemed disrespectful. The hypocrisy is staggering. Fans seem to want her to be completely untouchable, as if she can say whatever she wants, but her name can't be spoken by others. That isn't respect, it's straight-up idol worship. And it's transforming the league into a sideshow. Every minor comment is blown up into a fake feud, distracting from the actual game. Meanwhile, Sophie is being labeled racist, jealous, washed up, and basic. All for saying, call me Angel Reese. That's not even shade, it's a direct compliment about Angel's physique. How does one twist a compliment into an insult? You have to be actively looking for a reason to be mad to achieve that. Some fans even started reviving old WNBA beefs to fuel the fire, dragging Caitlin Clark into it and talking about a white girl alliance. Bro, Clark wasn't mentioned. Race wasn't mentioned. You brought that up. And that's the point. The people who scream loudest about diversity are often the first to inject race into every single conversation. You'd think they would be exhausted by now. Every month brings a new feud, Angel versus Caitlin, Caitlin versus Wilson, Wilson versus Stewart, and now Sophie versus Angel. All of it is fabricated. All of it is manufactured by Twitter. It's tiresome. The players themselves don't even behave this way. They play their game, they compete hard, and they move on. It's the fans who are turning every post into a battlefield. It's sad really, because the league benefits from personalities like Sophie and Angel. They both have energy. They both create buzz, but instead of appreciating that, fans insist on pitting them against one another for clout. And here's the uncomfortable truth. A part of the animosity towards Sophie stems from the fact that she is unapologetically herself. She's loud, she's confident, she talks trash, and she embodies an image that the media often struggles with in women's athletics. She isn't falsely modest. She isn't seeking approval. That unnerves people. At the same time, Angel's fans treat her as if she's beyond reproach, which, spoiler alert, no one is. It's possible to be an Angel Reese fan and also acknowledge that her supporters can go too far. That's not hate, it's just reality. But reality doesn't go viral, drama does. So the fan accounts continue to churn out clips of fake outrage. You'll find a tweet with 100,000 likes saying, Sophie Cunningham just dissed Angel Reese again. And when you click it, it's the exact same video from last week. They are recycling drama like a bad Netflix series. It has become its own little industry. Post fake beef, get high engagement, maybe land a sponsorship. You cater to the fan bases, incite them to fight, and watch your metrics climb. The fans believe they're defending their favorite player, but in reality, they're just providing free marketing for click farm accounts. And frankly, it is ruining what makes the WNBA great. The athletes are compelling enough on their own without fans making the environment toxic. But now it feels like no one can make a joke. Every time a player opens their mouth, they have to wonder, will this be on Twitter later with 10,000 quote tweets calling me problematic? It's just exhausting to witness. At a certain point, you have to call it what it is. Insecurity. Angels fans aren't angry about the joke. They're angry because someone outside their preferred circle is getting attention and they cannot tolerate it. Sophie is securing brand deals, viral clips, and national media coverage. The very things they claimed white players couldn't achieve, and now that she is proving them wrong, they don't know how to react. So, that's the story. A joke about gluten spiraled into a total internet meltdown. Angel Reese's fans had a fit, Sophie Cunningham continued to thrive, and Twitter got its daily fix of manufactured drama. What's your opinion? Did Sophie cross a line, or have fans completely lost their grip on reality? Leave your thoughts in the comments, hit that like button, and subscribe for more.